And if you guys remember, this is what got TikTok banned for 24 hours. Trump was able to get it back, but the ADL were huge in getting TikTok banned. And guess what? When it came back, you couldn't put Free Palestine. You couldn't put a watermelon emoji. It was all considered hate speech. Jonathan Greenblatt was one of the main architects because he's correct. This is not a left-right problem. This is a generational problem. Young people are getting Jew-pilled. Young people are figuring out world Jewry. Young people are figuring out Zionist control of American politics, culture, tech, finance, etc. And TikTok is not as regulated as the other social media platforms. So this created a great alarm. Now, we have this problem on TikTok. Could you guys imagine if the last bastion of Israel support, aka the conservative movement, was infiltrated and became less pro-Israel, aka what Charlie Kirk controls? Now you guys can see the do or die situation that the Israelis are in.
Leadership of Turning Point USA, an organization he founded, have been brewing for some time. Over a year ago, Ben Dominic, a co-founder of The Federalist, wrote, "If Charlie Kirk remained..."
Hold on. Let's look this guy up.
Did Israel...
What's this nigga's name? Ben Dominic? I'm already getting the vibes. Let's see. Okay. Wonder if he's Jewish. You guys saying in chat. John Davis and Ben Dominic, huh? Are the two people. He's married to who? Meghan McCain? Oh, yeah. Well, we know the McCains are hardcore Zionists. We know that.
The head of TPUSA, the right has an anti-Semite problem. And a few weeks ago, in the Times of Israel, Jewish Zionist Daniela Bloom wrote, "Turning Point must continue to be a safe haven for aligned, pro-America, pro-Israel Jews on campus."
Why does it need to be a safe haven, guys? Because it's the last fucking bastion protecting these guys.
All right, coming up
it's the last one. The left, guys, like 90% of the left is done with Israel. Something like 93% of Democrats no longer support Israel. So the last bastion for Israel support is the right.
And for future generations. What we have established here is a consistent thread of Zionist outrage over Charlie Kirk's platforming of Israel critics and concerns over his leadership of TPUSA, the most influential conservative organization in America. You see, Turning Point USA isn't just another conservative group. With over 3,500 chapters nationwide, its conferences became the beating heart of Republican youth politics. Charlie Kirk developed it into a machine that energized young conservatives like no one else. Even Donald Trump credited Kirk and TPUSA for his election victory, calling it your victory, not mine.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. One thing I'll always give Charlie Kirk his Flower Sport credit for, him and Elon Musk were instrumental in getting Donald Trump the presidency of 2024. Instrumental, bro.
Straight punch land.
Elon Musk and Charlie Kirk, I think, were two of the biggest contributors to the 2024 campaign that allowed Trump to win. But Kirk got so many young voters to the fucking polls to vote. It's insane. It's literally insane. That's why Trump likes Kirk so much and flew the flags at half staff for him. He was critical to his ground game.
This is why the stakes were so high for the Zionists. If Kirk had continued drifting toward criticism of Israel, it wouldn't just be another commentator questioning Zionism. It would mean the entire conservative youth movement could begin shifting its views. Unlike Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, or Nick Fuentes, who can be dismissed as fringe and independent commentators, Kirk and TPUSA had mainstream power. They organized the grassroots. They had access to the White House.
It's a fucking fact. Guys, Charlie was there on Trump's inauguration day. Charlie was there at the White House, right alongside Bill Ackman and Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and all these tech guys. He was there. Elon Musk allowed Trump to get in with social media. Twitter became super pro-Trump. Charlie ran this ground game, getting voters out to the polls to actually vote. Elon Musk ran the tech side. So, there are many different avenues from which each party assisted Trump with getting into office.
That is exactly why Netanyahu offered to bankroll TPUSA, to make sure Kirk never turned that influence against Israel. As the founder of this organization, rejecting this funding essentially denied Israel the ability to gain leverage over Kirk's position as leader of the organization. So without access, they couldn't threaten to remove him from the position. And when gangsters can't buy you or control you, well, they kill you.
You work it out any way you want, but nobody's backing out of the deal. Mr. Cinelli, I'm sorry, but the bottom line is I'm not selling the company to you. I'll tell you the fucking bottom line, laddie fuck. The Barone routes are not Cinelli routes. That's that.
5 minutes in the books. All right, so a huge round for him there. Nearly had him out of there with the head kick. Didn't get the knockdown.
So even though Kirk routinely amplified Israeli propaganda, simply questioning Israel's actions in a critical light seems to have been a step too far for Zionists who have lost virtually all support from young Republicans. In Charlie Kirk's final interview, he raised what can only be described as the gentlest of questions with Ben Shapiro about ethnic cleansing in Gaza.
We push back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border. So maybe we should also ask the question, is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, you know, that maybe we shouldn't believe.
Look at those. Whoa. You can see Ben Shapiro was like, this is going to be uncomfortable. Okay. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like Ben Shapiro's done a pretty good job of avoiding pro-Palestine. Of course, perfect timing. It's like a perfect timing. But yeah, Ben Shapiro's done a pretty damn good job of avoiding big pro-Palestinian voices. You guys notice that? I have yet to see Ben Shapiro debate any big name person that's critical of Israel. I've seen him do like maybe one Oxford debate or whatever. But in general, Ben has done a damn good job of avoiding talking to big anti-Israel voices directly. He ducked the Candace Owens debate. He ducked the Tucker Carlson debate. And he's just been doing a good job of staying away. Now, you can see his surprised expression here. Because he's like, oh, really? What the fuck, Charlie? Right? Here, we'll replay this. It's kind of funny to see that reaction.
The media totally pertain on the board.
And he opens it up with like, hey, we questioned COVID. We questioned the border. We are, you know, truth seekers, right? He opens it up with that.
Has the gentlest of questions with Ben Shapiro about ethnic cleansing in Gaza.
We push back against the media on COVID, on lockdowns, on Ukraine, on the border. So maybe we should also ask the question, is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, you know, that maybe we shouldn't believe.
Yo, the look says it all, chat. The look says it all.
Visibly limping here.
Oh?
Look at him chopping the wood. Chop the wood.
They say one picture's worth 1,000 words. This one's 109,000 words, if you know what I'm saying.
Everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions over the last couple of years. So then some people would accuse Israel of wanting to ethnically cleanse. some people in the Israeli government are saying, again, it's all over the place, right? You have opinions all over. In your opinion, what would a good outcome?
I mean, bro, Ben-Gvir, Smotrich, like all these high-level people in the Israeli cabinet, which, because it's basically the Likud party running shit, which is their far-right organization, they all want the Palestinians to fuck up out of there, bro. It's not even a question at this point. The ethnic cleansing is happening. You've seen the fucking, we've seen the goddamn, paperwork, right? What they plan to do with it, turn it into a fucking AI tech city, right? Another Dubai. With high-rise hotels and beautiful beachfront property. Like, we already know what it is. The fucking map's leaked.
In 5 years from now be, and how does one respond to the claims of ethnic cleansing?
24 hours later, Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck and killed. With Kirk now dead, Zionists began covering up this tension and claiming he was a loyal friend of Israel until the very end. Netanyahu first tweeted prayers for Kirk at 3:02 p.m. in the afternoon on September 10th, minutes after news of the shooting broke. He has since authored 3 additional posts about Kirk, even breaking away from the Israeli war cabinet to spend the afternoon of September 11th memorial.
And it's kind of crazy because, as you guys know, Israel is in the middle of probably one of the most pivotal times in their country's history. As we speak, they're running something called, because I got to add a little bit more context for you guys. So let's go back a little bit. As you guys know, October 7th happened. It's been about almost 2 years now at this point. And we are in the final phases of Israel occupying the Gaza Strip, right? They've obviously waged war on several of their neighbors, to include Syria, Yemen, Lebanon, Iran. They bombed Somalia, they bombed Iraq, several different places, right? And they're in the final stages of Gaza. And right now there's a relentless bombing campaign going on in Gaza as we speak. They're bombing the high-rises every single day now, still killing kids. Starvation is still going on. Aid is not getting in the way it's supposed to. It's relentless, right?
It's a UFC lightweight division bout.
They're in the final stages of finally occupying the Gaza Strip and getting the last members of, trying to get rid of the last members of Hamas, while also simultaneously pushing for a release of the hostages. And also, they're at a pivotal time because they bombed Qatar. Now, for those of you that are wondering, Myron, why does bombing Qatar matter so much, or why is it relevant? The reason why it's so relevant, Chad, is because this is a huge escalation. Qatar is a strong ally of the United States. We have our biggest military base in the Middle East there, okay? And for the Israelis to bomb Qatar, despite the fact that they're saying it was a precise strike and we're targeting members of Hamas, is still incredibly disrespectful and violates their sovereignty. Okay? So, not only is he doing the last leg of Operation Gideon's Chariots, which is finishing up the war in Gaza and occupying it, he also is in the middle of dealing with the ramifications of this failed airstrike on quite literally one of America's allies, Qatar. And Qatar, just so you guys know, is the mediator in this situation. Qatar is the one facilitating a lot of these deals. All the meetings between Steve Witkoff and Iran and Hamas and the Israelis were all done via the Qataris. Okay? So, for them to bomb the Qataris, not only did it suspend diplomacy for several weeks, now the Qataris are threatening a retaliation alongside Saudi Arabia. This is a diplomatic fucking nightmare for the United States. Okay? Now, we got conflicting stories, because on one side the Israelis were saying we had U.S. concurrence, but then on the other side the U.S. is saying we didn't know. As we speak right fucking now, matter of fact, and I'll show you guys this real fast. As we speak right now, Marco Rubio is in Israel. And you guys are probably wondering, well, Mario, what's he doing in Israel? You know what? I think I can show you better than I can tell you. This is what he's doing in Israel. Okay? He went and fucking kissed the wall yesterday with your boy Benjamin Netanyahu. And Huckleberry. Or whatever the fuck his name is. Huckleberry is what I call it. Oy okay? And a big reason why Marco Rubio is there is because they're strategizing the retaliation from the Gulf states. Okay? Turkey might get involved. Saudi Arabia's already made a statement that they're going to assist. And Qatar said that they're going to respond. So Marco Rubio's over there to try to figure out how Israel's going to defend itself from the middle of from this retaliation from the Arab world. Because Another reason why it's important, or why it's such a bad look, right? That the Israelis bomb Qatar is because I told you guys this before, but I'm going to say it again. The Gulf states guys are cucks, okay? Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Oman, all these wealthy Gulf states, they're wealthy because they have access to the U.S. markets because the United States allows them to trade their resources in the West. They don't have sanctions like Iran does, okay? So this is why they're incredibly wealthy, and this is why these Gulf states invest so much in the United States, and they buy weapons and everything else like that, right? And in return, the United States is supposed to protect them, okay? Now, obviously, these royal families are cool with the United States, but a lot of the constituents, right, a lot of critics of the Gulf states say, hey, how dare you work with the Americans when the Americans supply the Israelis with the weapons that kill Muslims, right? That's how they look at it. Like, how are you going to go sit there and work with the Americans, and they also work with the Israelis underhand, by the way. The Saudis and the Israelis work together. They just don't do it openly. 9/11 is a perfect example of that, by the way, which we're going to talk about that later. But one of the big criticisms that these Gulf states get is for working with the United States and working with Israel behind the scenes, okay? And then the Abraham Accords kind of formalized some of this stuff. UAE, Sudan, Bahrain, and a couple other Gulf states went ahead, well, not Sudan. Sudan's not a Gulf state. They came in later. But a couple of these countries started to recognize Israel, right? Without answering the Palestinian question. That's another big reason why October 7th happened. But going back to what I'm saying, the reason why this is such a problem, the bottom line why this is such a problem, Israel bombing Qatar, is because Qatar, in the Muslim world's eyes, sold out, right? You sold out, you work with the Americans, you work with the Israelis, these people are responsible for killing Muslims every day, you sold out. But the reason why they sold out was because so they can have access to the U.S. markets and be protected. Well, guess what? They clearly can't be protected because the Israelis attacked them. And the whole purpose of selling out is halfway for the protection. So if the U.S. can't even fucking protect them from Israel, who's the main aggressor in the Middle East, why the fuck are they working with them? And this has raised some serious questions all across the Middle East, where Israel clearly can't be reeled in. And they do whatever the fuck that they want to do. Why can't the United States control these guys? Because Israel is the main aggressor in the region. Also keep in mind, Israel is the only country in that region that has a nuclear fucking bomb. Despite the fact that they will not acknowledge they have these nuclear weapons, they have nuclear weapons. So as you guys can see, this is a serious fucking problem for the entire Middle East. Because they knew that there was always a potential problem with Israel, but now, Israel taking the overt step and actually bombing Qatar, Doha, the capital, is unacceptable. Now, why the fuck am I telling you all this? I'm telling you all this because Benjamin Netanyahu stopped what he was doing in the middle of this tumultuous fucking time with his government to offer his condolences to Charlie Kirk. Do you see now the gravity of the trouble that Israel's in, while simultaneously the Prime Minister stepping away to tweet this stuff while in the middle of a war in like 7 different fucking places, and potentially just starting a war with what was supposed to be a fucking ally. Give me one in the chat if that all makes sense. I have to really explain to you guys the gravity of what the fuck is going on in the Middle East. This is a very fucking crazy time. And this is a major escalation. Bombing Qatar. Insane. I was shocked when I saw it. And they didn't even get the guys. That's the worst part, bro. They didn't even kill the guys they wanted to kill. I guess they got foreknowledge or some shit and didn't show up to the building and they fucking bombed the building and killed like innocent people. None of the Hamas leadership that they wanted to kill was even there. So it's like even worse. It's like fucking salt in the wounds. Insult to injury. Couldn't even get their fucking guys. This is why Marco Rubio is over here fucking kissing the wall with Netanyahu trying to figure out what the fuck we're gonna do. Also, I forgot to mention this too. We just sent like billions of dollars to Israel. Just recently, like literally like 24, 48 hours ago, chat. Sent them niggas like, what is it, 600 billion or something like that, chat. Someone in the chat's gonna put it. We just spent billions of dollars within the last 48 hours, chat. Emergency. Because of this fucking shit. So,
so a nice shot there.
and one of the most pivotal times in Israeli history, your boy Benjamin Netanyahu authored a bunch of different tweets for Charlie. Anyway, now you guys know the context.
Realizing the conservative leader on Fox News. During that interview, Netanyahu did his best to insinuate that Israel's enemies were responsible for murdering Kirk, despite the fact no suspect was named or in custody at the time.
The radical Islam.
Yeah, he's gonna blame it on the Muslims. When in doubt, blame it on fucking Muhammad.
And their union with the ultra-progressives, they often speak about human rights, they speak about free speech, but they use violence to try to take down their enemies.
None of this, of course, is concrete evidence that Israel was behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But what this does reveal are three important facts. The first is that Kirk was beginning to criticize Israel, even if it was too...
He was slowly starting to notice.
Soft, too little, too late.
I was even surprised when he started following me. So he definitely was starting to get, J-Pole, I think, a little bit. At least from the perspective of him, even if it's from a debate perspective to see what the opponents think, he was starting to get J-Pole to some degree.
The second is that Charlie Kirk was growing frustrated over Israel's attempt to control what he says and who he speaks to. And the third is that the Zionists were also incredibly frustrated with him and worried about his position as the leader of TPUSA. So when it comes to the famous Latin expression, cui bono, or who benefits, there is evidence to believe that Israel and the Zionists do. Within 24 hours of Kirk's death, Shapiro announced that he would be launching his own campus speaking tour, vowing, "We're going to pick up that blood-stained microphone where Charlie left it." But what do you think? Is there anything that I'm missing? Let me know in the comment section. And of course, don't forget to read the article by The Gray Zone, which is linked in the comment section below. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing and donating to keep me going. Thank you, and take care of yourselves.
Alright. Let's go into video piecing everything together. So, here's Jackson Hinkle. He asked a bunch of questions. Every Israeli connection to Charlie Kirk's assassination so far. He was groomed by Israel as a teenager. He was Israel's top non-Jewish loyalist. He starts mildly criticizing Israel, said Epstein was Mossad. He said no Iran war on behalf of Israel. He lobbied Trump against the Iran war. Trump barked back at him over Iran. He said that Israel had full control of Trump. He referred to Netanyahu as a bully. He smeared Israel would kill him. He feared Israel would kill him. Harrison Smith posts about Kirk's spear. Netanyahu requests Charlie visit Israel. Netanyahu offers TPUSA huge funding. He refused Netanyahu's funding. He became disgusted with Netanyahu. He let anti-Zionists speak at his event. Zionist media starts tagging him. Zionist donors threaten to defund. Zionist donors demand Kirk ban Tucker. Donors cut him off and launch attacks. Rumor says Kirk backstabbed Trump. FBI director files chief of Utah FBI. He has anti-Israel interview with Shapiro. Shapiro attacks Kirk on Mark Levin. He has combative meeting with Israeli rabbi before 9/10 unusual people visited shooter. That's where the license plate stuff comes in. The visitor did not give off good vibe. Charlie shot and drug dealer from 200 yards away. Unidentified man runs in crowd with a pistol. Police arrest Patsy claiming to be shooter. Patsy yells, "Shoot me," during arrest. 9/11 propaganda video services of Patsy. Actual shooter flees without a trace. Netanyahu tweets within minutes. Israel media first to confirm Charlie's death. Private jet takes off 12 minutes away. Yeah, and it actually hit its location when there was an error. Jet is owned by Shabbat Lubavitch, donor. Netanyahu posts about Charlie's Israel trip. FBI says foreign intel assisting investigation. FBI claims they have photos of shooter. FBI claims shooter wore tactical gear, assembled gun and wooded area. No photos exist of shooter with the gun. No photos exist of shooter in tactical gear. Zionists go on social media blitz about Kirk. Netanyahu goes on media blitz about Kirk. Netanyahu says Islamists behind shooting. Netanyahu says Israel didn't kill Kirk. Netanyahu says Kirk's pro-Israel letter. Reads Kirk's pro-Israel letter. Candace says the letter was faked. Candace calls on Netanyahu to publish letter. Tucker says Charlie was at war with Israel. Cernovich says Kirk was at war with donors. Grayzone drops article with Trump insider. Insider confirms Kirk war with Israel. Insider confirms Trump fearful of Israel. Insider confirms Mossad spying on Trump. Trump insiders don't buy official FBI story. Trump insiders say outside forces killed Kirk. But I'm sure it was just some random liberal kid. Hey, lots of good questions there posed by your boy. Here's a clip I got here as well. This comes from actually Benjamin Netanyahu, saying Kirk was a friend of Israel, and he posted this 3 days after he died.
The greatest trip I ever took was to Israel, and the second greatest trip I ever took was to Israel, and I've only been there twice. I'm a huge supporter of the Holy Land, Judea and Samaria, and up against the terrorist organizations, Hezbollah, and the Palestinian Authority. I go to college campuses, and I've spoke at more college campuses than any Christian conservative in the last couple years. Stanford, Berkeley, Brown, UCLA, University of Texas, University of Michigan, Michigan State University, you name it, I've probably spoken at it. Major universities or states all across the country, from Montana State to Maine. And I am confronted many times by young Christians that believe that Israel is an oppressive apartheid state that basically should not exist in its current form. And so I'm here to clearly communicate to you that we have to do a much better job of communicating, of conveying, I should say, the geopolitical significance of the state of Israel. The world's a better place because of the state of Israel. There are 3 monotheistic religions represented in the Israeli Knesset and the Israeli Supreme Court. Israel actually expresses freedom of religion. I'll never forget when I was driving down to Hebron last year, and we're driving down south from Jerusalem, and there's the sun.
I think it won in 2018 with Candace, if I'm not mistaken. 2018, 2019, I think is when he went to first one to Israel.
I don't speak Arabic, nor do I speak Hebrew. So I turned to my driver and said, what does that sign say? There was no English translation. And there was an arrow to the middle, an arrow to the right, arrow to the left, an arrow to the right and left is red, and an arrow to the middle is black or some other not a warning color. And so I said, what does that mean? He said, well, if you turn right, you're done. Well, if you turn right, you're going to the Palestinian Authority-controlled territories, and as a Christian, a Westerner, or a Jew, they'll kill you.
Well, she's really putting it all together on the feet. She's staying busy.
Propaganda. There's a lot of Christian Palestinians. They have churches in the West Bank, and they got churches in Gaza, which they blew up, by the way.
Anderson gets hit with a kick.
Double standard here. Arab
propaganda
coming to the Israeli occupied areas. They're giving benefits and rights to vote. Going to the Palestinians.
Not really. The Palestinians under occupation in Gaza and West Bank do not have any rights.
In the authority areas, the Palestinian Authority-controlled areas with your head cut off. That was a really interesting moment for me.
Yeah, but that's because the Israelis are telling you that. But, okay, so that was what Netanyahu posted literally like 2 days ago, right? But Jackson Nickel asked some good questions here. Also, I had another one here.
All right, nice job, Bayer, to sort of shell up defensively here.
So asked some pretty good questions here as well. This was the connections, and then this was the questions. So questions for FBI Director Cash Patel. Which foreign intelligence aided the Charlie Kirk assassination investigation? Now, this is important, guys. I'm going to show you guys why. So when the shooting first happened, okay, foreign intelligence came out and said that they have information.
1-2 punch by Shevchenko.
I'll show you the clip. Some people interpreted it the wrong way. Here we go.
Keeps going back to that right hand. This one's not there for him.
Lost, and no matter what side of the political aisle you're on, we lost something important in America today. But the case goes on, the investigation goes on. There's a lot of piecing of evidence together. We don't have a shooter tonight. We have a couple leads, a couple people that were released that probably aren't the shooter. There's a couple hot leads. There's a little bit of foreign intelligence. And I think over the next couple of...
Okay, when he said there's a little bit of foreign intelligence, some people misinterpreted that as, was foreign intelligence involved in the killing? Or was foreign intelligence aiding?
Days we'll learn a lot more, and hopefully we will bring to justice the evil person who did what they did to Charlie today.
Now, the reason why, so that's what Jackson Hinkle means when he says, which foreign intelligence aided the Charlie Kirk assassination investigation? Did they volunteer or were they invited by U.S. intelligence? Was foreign intelligence present at the crime scene or on U.S. soil? Did foreign intelligence find any key information to identify the suspect? Did foreign intelligence handle the collection or chain of custody of any evidence? Were there any conflicting assessments between foreign and U.S. intelligence in the investigation? Did foreign intelligence provide any information that influenced the investigation? So these are some damn good questions. This is true. What the hell's going on here?
All right,
In the news of Charlie Kirk's assassination, it's all over everyone's feed. This is absolutely disgusting. With the FBI saying there's foreign intelligence involved, listen to what Patrick David says right here.
If an event like this happens to somebody on the opposing side the next 48 hours, the next week, think about the equivalent of Charlie Kirk on the other side. If an event like this happens on the opposing side,
who's the equivalent of Charlie Kirk on the left, chat? That's actually a good question. Comment in the chat, guys, who you guys think the Charlie Kirk equivalent is on the left. I can't even think of anybody. Honestly, can't even think of anybody. AOC? No, AOC is a real politician, dude. I'm talking about someone that's not a fucking politician.
Oh, she landed a big knee to the body.
AOC doesn't count, bro. AOC is literally a actual politician. Harry Sisson?
Big left hook there. Trying to
Destiny?
establish that jab
I don't think so.
Nice punch lands.
What are you guys saying, Hassan? The problem is that Hassan doesn't have any movements, bro. The dude just sits there and talks to himself on stream all day. Doesn't run events. I'm trying to think of, like, is there anyone on the fucking left that does what Charlie does? Like, has a grassroots fucking movement and does, like, conventions and shit. The left might not do it. Actually, I can't think of anybody, bro. Now that I think about it. What's that, Myron Gaines? Trying to be funny, bro?
Well, she was a little bit hesitant in round one, but she has certainly picked up the pace here in this second round. It took her a while to find her range.
I don't think they have an equivalent, bro.
Striking rhythm now.
I can't think of anyone that
Lands flush with
that organizes events on the right and like brings everybody together. I can't think of anybody. I don't think they have anybody. This is probably why they suck so much, actually. This is why a lot of them got caught taking that money. You guys hear about how like Brian Tyler Cohen and Dave Packman, all these guys got in a fucking they got in trouble for like accepting money from this fucking like organization. They were trying to do the same thing.
Big liver kick lands on
you have to know, a country on the outside wants to see a civil war in America. That concerns me a lot.
And even Netanyahu announced that Charlie Kirk had been assassinated 20 minutes after the shooting. This was before any official American news source, before Trump's announcement. But how did Israel know this soon? Well, if you listen to recent interviews and what Charlie was saying before his assassination...
I mean, to be fair, everybody thought he was dead, dude. Like, when I got the news, everyone said he was dead because they saw the video. And if you see the video, guys, it's extremely graphic. I'm not going to play it out of respect for Charlie Kirk and his family. But if you guys, you can easily find it on Twitter. Dude, we're talking about literally in 2 seconds, like a liter of blood gone, if not more, in like a second. It was really bad.
So listen to what Charlie says about Israel.
So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress. When I first heard this story, I still have the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that's an IDF soldier. Right? The whole country is surveilled. And so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone.
Yeah, he questioned October 7th being an inside job.
Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to leave. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand-down order?
And there were some soldiers that came forward that said that there was a stand-down order. There were some IDF soldiers, guys, that literally came forward and said, yeah, there was a stand-down order. So,
was there a stand-down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it. Israel's the size of New Jersey. When I took a helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border, it's 45 minutes. 6 hours. They're live streaming the killing of Jews. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate,
conspiracy question. I was texting with some senior people in the IDF, and they said, Charlie, can't say too much, but let's just say the same problem you have with the left in America we have here in Israel. So there's something to think about. There's something to think about, right? Is that maybe there's some people within those intel agencies that aren't as sympathetic. Or maybe, Patrick, maybe, they might have gotten a tip, they might have gotten whispers, but there are some serious questions here, Patrick. And let me tell you, my pattern recognition over the last 5 years has become pretty sharp. COVID, Maui fires.
Oh, yep, there you go. Dude, it's inevitable. He would have got Jew-pilled, chat. At some point, he would have got Jew-pilled.
You know, Epstein. When I see a story and it doesn't click, our guts are usually right.
In literally 48 hours before he was assassinated, Charlie Kirk asked some very critical questions.
Maybe we should also ask the question, is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question. Maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says, because I know I've been conditioned to ask a lot more critical questions.
So yesterday was a turning point for the United States, but not only that, a turning point...
No pun intended.
...for Israel-U.S. relations. Less than 24 hours in the internet is trying to figure out who the most likely culprit was. If you watch some of the replay footage, I'm not going to play the footage of him being shot because it's that bad. You've probably already seen it, but right here, this guy, he was caught on camera right before the assassination, touching his hat, then touching his ear, and then the shooter took the shot.
We debunked that one already.
And now there's no stopping what happens next. What are your guys' thoughts on all of this? Do you think it's some deranged person from the left that just didn't agree with his opinions, or do you think it's some type of foreign intelligence designed to push America closer and closer to a civil war? Because
all right, so let's go back. Where were we? All right, so we covered the questions. Very good questions by Jackson Hinkle. I had to retweet some of them because they were so good. Okay, so we covered this already. Okay, so this is Max Blumenthal talking with Tim Dillon. I think this was yesterday. That Donald Trump fears for his life specifically because of Israel, and that during one of Netanyahu's visits this year, Secret Service discovered electronic devices in their emergency response stage vehicles.
The President of the United States fear for his life.
Yes. Yes, I mean, obviously he fears for his life, and I was told that he feared for his life before the 2 assassination attempts, one coming within a millimeter of striking his head. I mean, let's not forget about that.
But I mean, just to clarify, he doesn't fear for his life because of Ireland.
I mean, I've been told, yes, that Israel is a major source of concern for Trump. I mean, think of...
Well, yeah, I mean, they are probably one of our biggest threats from a counterintelligence perspective. And I heard this from multiple former CIA officials that said Israel literally is like one of the biggest countries for stealing information from us, counterintelligence.
About it, what would happen?
This is our ally.
If he suspended arms if he suspended arms to a country that carries out assassinations all across the globe, that specializes in assassinations, that has...
Yep, they have the most confirmed assassinations of anyone, any intelligence service in the world, Israel. The Mossad is like the best, chat. They might even be better than us, to be honest with you. Because there is no red line for them. They will do whatever they need to do. To include stealing American technologies. We know that they've done before. They do to JFK.
An entire wing of its intelligence services that conducts assassinations, including with household goods.
And they only answer to who? Netanyahu. Very important that you guys understand that. CIA? It's not the CIA, excuse me. The Mossad only answers to your boy Bibi. Nobody else. That gives it incredible power.
Would you not be scared? So yes, Trump is scared, and what I learned from the source, who is a Trump insider, someone who talks to who talks to people in the Oval Office, people close to Trump, is that during one of Netanyahu's many visits to the U.S. this year, some figures in his retinue, Israeli agents, placed electronic devices on emergency response Secret Service vehicles.
That's crazy.
The Secret Service found them, and they reported this to the White House. You know, these would be emergency response vehicles that would respond to an incident potentially involving the president.
Does the president...
Absolutely nuts. Remember when Danielle playing a spy device Boris Johnson's toilet? Do you think he wasn't spying on Charlie Kirk, or do you think Charlie Kirk said in private?
She's on point.
Volume is very important.
Yeah, the Israelis are fucking always spying on shit. Alright, so this comes from your boy Harrison Smith.
So then I'm thinking about it from Israel's perspective and going, first of all, without my tweet as context, it kind of doesn't make any sense. Because Charlie Kirk is the pro-Zionist guy. He is the pro-Israel guy.
And he mentioned this, guys, back like August 13th, that Charlie was afraid for his life. Let me read some of these chats before we get piled up tonight. Myron, is that reported that Mossad told Bibi not to attack Qatar, but he did it anyway true? That seemed weird. I wouldn't be surprised. Cam Cook, an eyewitness to Charlie's Kirk murder, was cut off mid-account as people rushed in, grabbed him, and quickly silenced him before he could share the rest of what he saw. Okay, I'll take a look at this.
Grasso gets tagged by that straight punch. Nice land for the offense there.
Beautiful body kick lands right under the elbow. Game of inches right there, boy. Wow.
I'll put this in the
It
queue.
was good night if that landed.
Myron, I just shared two pictures that obviously appear from the foreign land on Twitter's stream nest.
She's doing a great job of blocking up top. Nothing of any substance.
Give me the link, Touch. Send another bucket just so you sent me. Give me the link. Cosmic Myron Capone in the chat has close-up pictures of the shooter and the guy in custody. I'm convinced they have different skin structure and complexion. May the chat roast me if I'm wrong. Okay, we'll take a look. Make says, big appreciation to you, Myron, for the huge work you do. By the way, are there currently annual discount for FNF? Respect from Fleming. For FNF, I don't know. Hi, Myron, God bless you. This comes from Alan. He says, don't want to be that guy, but do you know when the merch ships? I ordered the Cookie Monster hoodie, and I want to take it as a bike meet next weekend. It typically ships right away. You should be getting it within a week, depending on which speed or the shipping speed you chose. Benjamin Netanyahu, too. I disagree with your take, Myron. Okay. And can you look into the conspiracy of Ben Shapiro's little hat getting bigger? Mark, give the good word, yes, for the feed purpose. Wallace says, thank you for your mind definitely changed on Kirk's death. I had a very lefty thought at first. It used to be on the street and sick what people are saying. We'll see, bro. Like I said, I'm looking at all the evidence. I haven't made my decision yet on what I think it is. I'm just looking at all the different perspectives. That's exactly the same expression Ben Shapiro had on his face around the time Candace was fired. Mike says, my fear, when are we going to get Nick on After Hours again? Maybe this week. Palestinian Americans may be reverse Uno card users by weapons against them boys. Yeah. T. Right? I don't know, bro. I'm thinking it was the Jews. The video made some good points. Dear Chow, despite my hate for Israel, I admit I'm impressed with the fact that they have high birth rates. 2.89 kids. Yep. 9MM says, this is the first time I watched live. The knowledge you share is invaluable. Thank you. No problem, 9MM. DB says, if we were to cut off Israel entirely, would you really put it on them to attack us upon that? Potentially. You know the Garble bullet? No. Shadow case chasing. Your Myron, I'll tell you what I want to say. Thank you for all that you're doing. Thank you, bro. Naylor says, Myron, do you think they are doing the same thing with Trump if he turns against them? Could be. You know, the A-listers have given $300 million. Yeah, Shadow, thanks for finding the channel 3 years ago. I'm glad I was able to help you. Candace Owens flirted with the Jew angle about an hour ago. Okay. Both parties says the audacity of Israel first is to say that America first crowd is un-American. Yeah, they're retarded, bro. That's why niggas gotta go and join support of the OSS. That's true, bro. We covered all over here. Mine no need, that's Capone's burner. He's looking at AI-generated photos that have been debunked, so no need to waste your time. Chat handed it for you. Okay, thanks. Casual Tell fired FBI special agent in charge of the Salt Lake a couple of weeks before the assassination. How about that?
I looked to my left, and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair, forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck, down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off.
running high right now.
Oh, shit.
And there's that jab again. She continues to effectively use that weapon.
All right.
It's not the best jab in this division.
I feel it's the best jab in the UFC, regardless of gender. She is unbelievable.
He holds that banner, and he's known as that. So to say Israel's going to kill him, that genuinely doesn't make any sense. But then when you think of it as, what if he was going in that direction? What if they were listening in to him and he was in communications with people saying, hey, I think I'm going to go this direction, and they knew his intentions or saw this pattern? Then suddenly it's like, okay, here's this pro-Zionist guy with this incredibly powerful platform that they built, by the way.
Yeah, Turning Point is huge. And yes, they did fund Turning. They gave him the money in the beginning to get that thing started. The biggest donors are Zionist Jews.
That Charlie has, thanks to them. So if he's going to take what they gave him and turn it against them, that could literally destroy Israel, because the youth is people they're most concerned about. They're bringing over all these under 30 people to Israel to train. They're very concerned about the youth's perception of Israel. Charlie...
That's why a bunch of them were there last month, if you guys remember, doing the Hasbara tour. Oh, look at all this aid that's in this fucking parking lot.
Is the dude when it comes to Israel. He is such a powerful component of their apparatus. And so then you think, like, all right, we can't let him turn, because that's just, like, totally unacceptable. And if he starts to turn and we take him out then we'll be blamed. So, you know, you take him out before he ever really genuinely turns, and then he's the Zionist martyr, and maybe you blame it on the Palestinian, and then you get more anti-Semitism stuff, and you know, unify the right, and they stop criticizing your guy, you know, anymore. I don't know, man. So, again, Israel was never my top suspect until, you know, I spent 24 hours thinking about it, and I'm like, it's not unreasonable. It's not even out of the question in terms of would Israel do this. I mean, it's like, guys, I mean, they've done it 14 times since Clint and I started this conversation. So, you know, it's like, it's in their wheelhouse, and if nothing else, it just shows.
Yeah, I mean, assassination is what they do. False flags is what they do. You know, you can't really put anything past the Israelis. Very calculated, very deadly.
How much they needed Charlie Kirk, because, man, nobody's going to be defending them anymore, and their reputation is in the toilet.
Yeah, it's cooked.
Well, she's landed some good shots, but
all right, here's some more questioning from Tucker Carlson and Megan Kelly.
And that's the problem. When you start point fighting and your jab is landing,
to go to the president, who he loved Donald Trump, like personally as well, and I think the president really loved him in a real way. But he's one of the only people to go to the Oval Office and say, sir, I totally understand, and I think Iran's really bad, but a war with Iran is not, you know, is something that could really hurt our country. I mean, boy, that was an unpopular position. He didn't need to express it. Oh, of course. And he did it again. He didn't have some weird agenda. He wasn't mad at anybody. He was for his country, and he was for doing the right and wise and difficult thing. And he said that. He went to the Oval Office to say that. He took massive abuse from his own donors, which is also something that you don't see people. And he loved his donors. It wasn't.
Now, as well as some people from behind the scenes, guys, pretty much they've all confirmed to me that he was getting heat from behind the scenes. A lot of pressure from behind the scenes.
A hostile thing, but they had a different view. A lot of them, not all, but a lot.
Turning Point USA, guys, generates like $55 million a year, Chad. So we're talking about an insane amount of money coming into that organization to run things the way that they work. And anyone that's been to a Turning Point event, super high production, high quality. We're talking state of the art.
The official decision, it resides,
you know, presentation, security, very well organized. It's not cheap to run, bro. Definitely not cheap to run.
And they expressed it to him in a...
And I don't think the left has anything near it, honestly.
Very intense way, I know, because he showed me. And he said, look, I understand your perspective. This is my perspective, and we're going to do what we think is the right thing, the wise thing.
In that way, too, he was the voice of young people. I mean, there are no young people in the country anymore supporting this war and wanting Israel to continue its bombing campaign. That's just the truth. Look at the polls. And he was in touch with them. And even where his own opinion may have differed from their opinion, he felt like he owed it to them to bring their message to the sitting president of the United States. I mean, it was that's what's been snuffed out.
Well, as he has been, unfortunately, but he was one of the very few people I have met who combined a love for everyone involved with strong views. So again, he was not animated by anything creepy or weird. I mean, you knew him intimately, so you know this is true. If you talk to him off camera, he would say, you know, I really, like, I love whoever I'm talking about, but I think this is wrong. It's immoral. It's bad for everybody involved, both sides. And he would say that, and he could say that because it was sincere. It was completely sincere. But I cannot overstate the amount of attacks he took privately over this, like absolutely for real. And having lived in Washington most of my life and seeing people run on.
And I will tell you, man, I've heard a couple people from that know Charlie say that he was starting to get Jew-pilled on this shit. Now that I think about it, when I was at AmFest last year, or actually no, the RNC, when I was at the RNC last year, somebody from his camp was telling me, like, bro, he knows about the Jews. He knows about it. And there's no way that you don't know about it if you're in conservative media. It's kind of like the fucking boogeyman that people stay away from, right? How many people are brave like Nick, you know, to be in conservative media, you know, as a political commentator and go at them, right? It's become safer now, but, you know, for a very long time it was a death sentence for a career.
On Prophets, I've never met one who was willing. Stand up is too strong. He wasn't confrontational, but he would just say, no, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but I think this is the right thing. The people we represent, which is mostly young people, they believe this, and I believe it also. It was brave but loving at the same time, and I'm not sure he made a lot of headway. By the way, I mean, I think he made real enemies in doing that, but his view didn't change. Anyway,
so. Alright, so also, something else interesting. This comes from Ryan Mata. The guy that got caught, George Zinn, check out the odds of this shit. Okay. If you guys remember, this is the dude that got caught immediately after. The guy that was immediately arrested after the shots were fired, and he was the first suspect that they picked up.
I want you going crazy. But what are the odds that George Zinn, the Patriot that was arrested at the Charlie Kirk assassination, also saw 9/11, saw the planes flying into the building, and called that in and reported it, and he also called in a fake terrorist attack at the Boston Marathon bomb. And just so happens to get arrested. So Tess Teaser, she responded to this tweet. She says, Grok is a guy really involved in all three events like this post claims. And Grok fact checks it goes based on a review of multiple sources. George Zinn was a witness.
Real quick, so I make sure I don't miss any chats. Okay, man, I think I got it. In the OSS main page. Just shoot me the link, Top Shape, bro. You got like a million things open here in front of me. When is the next Marvel Rival stream? It's funny as fuck when you're carrying everyone.
Right on point. She's doing a great
it's in your X feed, brother.
It has quickly developed into one of her best strikes.
I don't think it's an X feed.
Oh, big punch land.
Grasso gets tagged by the head kick there. Not sure how many more of those she can absorb if she wants to stay in this fight. Oh, the right hand is there for...
This is Bishop Myron. What if Israel is behind Trump's assassination attempt, but they didn't think he'd survive? And that woke Trump up to how dangerous these faces are. He knows Bibi was behind him, making him told Israel and stolen with Epstein files, not because he's with them, but because he knows he is a big deal. I need some evidence. Look, I don't dispute any claim. My thing is I just want evidence. If someone disrespects Charlie, celebrates what happened, and OSS, they should be banned. We have some piece of shit in here. Really? We got some people celebrating an OSS? Come on, we're better than that, bro. We're fucking better than that. Come on, man. What is wrong with y'all, bro?
She responded to this tweet that Grok is a guy really involved in all three events like this post claims. And Grok fact checker goes based on a review of multiple sources. George Zinn was a witness to the 9/11 attacks, and he describes seeing planes hit the towers. He was also arrested in 2013 for emailing a bomb threat joke to the Salt Lake City Marathon shortly after the Boston bombing. He pled guilty to a terrorism charge and somehow magically only received probation. He was also detained and questioned as a person of interest at the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Someone said that he was Jewish, but then someone else here in the OSS chat, I think, said that they were there at the TPUSA event, and this dude had Mormon underwear on or some shit like that. Which, I don't know how you would know that, but interesting.
Assassination on September 10th, 2025, but released without charges relating to the shooting. Then Grok went on and made sure that it told you there is no credible evidence that supports claims of his involvement in 9/11's false flag, facilitating Kirk's death, or Mossad ties. The main suspect in Kirk's killing is now Tyler Robinson, and he is in custody. So I asked Grok to break this thing down.
hands there
so
shortly
I
after
wouldn't
she
give you an answer for this. It's an hospital type thing. But I said, do a statistical probability. Give me a ballpark stat on the probability of him being at all
Man, does she throw these hands seamlessly and easily connects with another series of punches there.
She is one of the best boxers in the UFC, and this is the reason why we say it every time she fights.
67 total strikes that have landed for Joanne Cole.
5% or 5 times 10 to the power of 8. That translates to approximately 1 in 2 billion.
Know what you're going to see with this young lady. Is she going to finish the fight?
Very strange.
Massive shot lands. How's she going to try to find the next shot that'll finish the fight? Oh, nice combination. Oh, no.
Very, very strange.
All you conspiracy theories.
The chances are very odd. And then here's the actual full video here with Tim Dillon and them talking about this.
Zionist, but he more comes from kind of the libertarian world, so he was welcomed on stage to debate a Zionist propagandist who works for Newsweek, Joshua Hammer. Debate, no, that's not something you want, especially at this point, if you are like a pro-Israel enforcer. And Dave Smith was openly talking about the...
He's talking about Turning Point USA, where Dave Smith embarrassed the fuck out of this guy. CS says, woman underwear isn't like boxers full, get up under regular clothes, religious shit around here with the nose. Okay.
Daughter of children in Gaza, and the crowd was cheering in this cathartic way. Then Tucker comes out, says, you should have your citizenship yanked if you fight for a foreign army. All right, hundreds, thousands of American Jewish youth go to Israel and fight for their army instead of our own. So that's a direct blow to not just the Israel lobby, but like the whole concept of Jewish communal life as it's understood by its leadership. Then Tucker calls out Bill Ackman, who's one of the biggest Netanyahu money men inside the U.S.
Absolutely. And he doesn't care about partisan lines, so he'll switch it to support Israel. PS says, Mormon underwear isn't like boxers. Okay, got that. Ellison Bishop, I just want to make this clear, I've never killed myself. Okay, Kumo says, this dude is lying. The grok he's reading basically literally says he was only at 9/11 in the Kirk event. He called a fake threat in Utah, not Boston, okay? Thank you for that catch, Kumo. Appreciate that.
Yes, who's pulling strings at Harvard, getting their funding pulled unless they crack.
Yep. He was definitely critical in them getting their funding pulled. And not only that, got Claudine Gay fired, like I explained to you guys earlier.
Back down on Palestine activism. And he questions Bill Ackman. He calls him a scam artist and said, how did he make $9 billion? Like, where did it come from? I mean, and Bill Ackman, the next day, he couldn't really answer the question. He published like a 5,000-word meltdown Twitter post trying to defend his financial investments. It was just bonkers. I'd never seen anything like it. And it was all Charlie Kirk's fault for for giving basically the people what they wanted. And after that, he started getting publicly attacked. Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, the two biggest Zionist enforcers in the media, who are very close to Netanyahu, biggest forces lobbying Trump to wage war on Iran, went off on TPUSA, said we can't be having a Big Ten if it includes kooks. Laura Loomer, we all know who she is. She publicly attacked Charlie Kirk and said he basically had to step down. He was getting attacked in pro-Israel media. What we didn't know, which I learned, is in private, the pressure was even more intense. He was being bombarded with text messages. And at some point, Netanyahu personally called him and offered to basically fund his organization to new levels that he never even imagined, which meant, Zionist Israeli takeover, complete recapture of TPUSA, an organization they basically helped create. And Charlie Kirk turned him down. After Charlie Kirk was killed, we know that Netanyahu wouldn't stop posting about him. Like minutes after he was killed, when his body was still warm, Netanyahu was posting about him, interrupting his seven-front war in the Middle East and his...
And also, just so you guys know, Netanyahu has very powerful friends in the United States. Okay? Very powerful. The Adelsons, all these guys have a bunch of money. That's why Netanyahu's going through the corruption trial, by the way, right now, guys. A big part of the reason why he's going through this corruption trial in Israel is because he accepted expensive and lavish gifts and favors from his wealthy donors and friends. That's what got him in trouble in the first place with the corruption stuff in Israel.
Shevchenko's strike attempt there is blocked.
Global assassination spree where he's trying to kill people even inside a U.S. ally in Qatar.
Can you remember any time
Yeah.
that in the history of a political assassination that the leader of a foreign government has come out to deny that they were behind it? I mean,
I've never seen anything like that.
Right. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it was... So Netanyahu has to ultimately deny that Israel was involved in an interview on Newsmax with Greta Van Susteren. Newsmax is another, like, institution that Israel controls. Its CEO, Chris Ruddy, was just in Israel with Netanyahu, basically shining his shoes in public. So Netanyahu goes there and says, you know, this is like, to accuse us of killing Charlie Kirk or having a role in this is like a medieval blood libel and the Holocaust. And when Netanyahu says that, it probably leads some Gentiles to wonder if there was something to those blood libels. I mean, when someone that sleazy and that blood-soaked links innocent Jews to the murderous campaign that Israel's carrying out, it's bad. It's actually bad for the Jews when he says that. But I've never seen anything like this, and I've never seen anything like what Netanyahu is doing relating to a tragedy or a crime in the United States since 9/11. Netanyahu blamed Muslims for Charlie Kirk's killing, explicitly on Fox News. He was trying to milk it as much as he could, but it blew back on him because he's become a prime suspect. But after 9/11, Netanyahu said in comments widely reported in Israeli media, you can look this up, he said 9/11 was good for Israel. And it's the same way that he saw Charlie Kirk's killing as being good for Israel. He thought he could.
Absolutely, because they used 9/11 as the conduit to engage in war with Iraq. This is why Israeli intelligence, Mossad, Shin Bet, Oman, Unit 8200, they gave the United States faulty intelligence to justify your boy Saddam Hussein having weapons of mass destruction, and we relied upon that to go to war with Iraq. And many other neocons, Fife, Pearl, Wolfowitz, Bolton, right? The architects of the, of the Clean Break Memo relied upon that information heavily, Judith Miller, to get us to go to war with Iraq. And all these people are dual allegiance Zionist Jews, American citizens, but Jews.
He actually probably thought.
I mean, matter of fact, look, let's just have fun with this because we're going to cover 9/11 literally right after this, guys. I'm going to switch over to OSS only. But like, dude,
he's become a prime suspect.
Bill Kristol.
She's hurt very bad. I don't know if she'll be able to recover. Big knee to the body.
Continuing to work the body to great effect. First punch there, and then nice shot by him.
Nice punch. Good jab.
Lands the right punch and follows it up with a nice left hand. Nice hand by Holm. You gotta check. He's low leg.
this all day, chat. I can literally do this all fucking day, man. I can play this song again and keep going with this shit. But yeah, these are some of the architects of the Iraq war. You know what? Fuck.
Every single